using 4 different simple machines. We're going to be looking at a single pulley system, a 2 pulley system, an inclined plane, a lever. Who can tell me, why do we use simple machines?
I think it's like if I think it was a lever or pulley. Like sometimes they use it when they're pulling up like something up to that's heavy up to like a building. Yeah.
And you're comparing how easy or how hard it is to do the work. What you're trying to figure out is the simple machine making the work any easier? So right now there's 2 bricks in each bag. I need a helpful volunteer. Mario. And I'm just using these 2 bricks. What's the reading on the spring scale, Mario?
It keeps changing. 10.
If you get a reading less than 10, then you know that the work must be easier to do. This spring scale, which I'm going to put over on the inclined plane, same thing as the ones we've been using in class. They're just bigger because they can accommodate more weight. The spring scales we've been using are for those teeny tiny weights, and these are more bigger and stronger so that they can accommodate a heavier weight. When I blow my whistle, you're going to freeze and then rotate to the next station.
The Simple Machines unit is called Levers and Pulleys in Boston, and as part of the Levers and Pulleys unit, I decided to take the kids outdoors because that would give us an opportunity to move around a little bit more, we'd have more space to work, and also it would give us the opportunity to use some more heavy-duty levers and pulleys and to lift some heavy weights.
Can you pick one number that's kind of right in the middle that would represent all those values? It says 9, 10,
10. I think it's them.
Alright. Aren't you supposed to put your observations? Is it easier to lift the bag with or without the simple machine?
Why do you hurt my knee?
Alright. Our job.
Okay, now get on. Hold on. Yeah, get on. What are you supposed to do?
Freeze! The scale said.
I don't like that one. Like the 18.
Overall, I think that they did a pretty good job. With 5th graders, it's hard to keep them on task when they're spread out at 5 different centers and there's just one teacher. So my biggest challenge with this lesson was moving from center to center and making sure kids were focused, making sure that anybody who was having trouble with directions got the instructions that they needed. But I think that using those heavy weights really helped drive home the importance of having simple machines. It's really clicked for them that if you have something that's really heavy, a lever or a pulley or even an inclined plane is going to make doing that work a little bit easier.
Switch to the next station on your list. If you need help, ask for it and I can help you.
Doing hard work, and so I took them out into the schoolyard and gave them some bags full of bricks, some weights that really were legitimately heavy and they needed a simple machine to help them lift them.
What did you think about what?
Wait, let me lift it up. Alright.
So we went out in the schoolyard and I set up some stations with a lever and some pulleys. I also set up an inclined plane using a ramp. And outside, the kids had plenty of space to maneuver and move around. And I had them rotate to different stations, trying out all the different simple machines that were set up. So even with 5th graders, I have to go over the expectations about being outside, especially because this lesson was going to be set up right on the play structure, which is a huge temptation. So I needed to make it clear that, you know, we were going outside for this lesson and we weren't going to be using the play yard equipment except to hang pulleys on. It always helps with old students and the younger students to give them a clipboard and a pencil, so that helped focus them. Whenever they weren't sure what they were supposed to be doing, the directions were on their recording sheet and they had a graphic organizer that was going to help them make observations at each station that they went to.
Bring your pencil and your clipboard and come come sit along the lower part of the rock wall. Alright, for the very first machine, or excuse me, for the first station, vertical lift, if you are just lifting the bag with no machine, what kind of force does it take to lift this bag? About 9. So
I felt like at the end of the levers and pulleys unit, my kids understood what a lever and a pulley was, but they didn't understand the real purpose of a lever and a pulley. Because the weights we were using in the classroom were so small and so light, they didn't see that as doing work.
So when you had no machine, we're talking about 10. When you used the inclined plane or the ramp, what was the number you got when you were dragging it up the ramp?
I got 6 when I listened.
Is that you can pull down and you can use your body weight instead of just using your arm muscles. So that's a directional advantage. When the number on the scale went down, when it actually took less force to lift the load, that's called a mechanical advantage.